custom exercise for riders empowers you by giving you the tools and knowledge to assess yourself, learn to interpret your assessment results, and use that knowledge to design yourself a customized exercise program that will greatly improve the quality of your riding and your life. It is a go at your own pace online program. You will learn why stretching alone doesn't help in most cases. You will learn about muscle imbalances, how to identify which of your muscles are overactive and which are underactive, and how to correct this. Learn through hundreds of on-horse and off-horse exercise videos with detailed information about how to do the exercises and what you should be feeling during the exercises. Learn about various muscles and how they are involved in riding. Learn how all of this is relevant to riding and horse training. Whether you are a trainer looking to reduce your muscle soreness, a competitive rider looking to improve your performance along with your horses, or a rider of any level who wants to help keep your horse more sound and comfortable, as well as yourself, this program is for you. This program differs from other rider exercise programs in that it is not a one-size-fits-all approach. It is based on your unique goals and your unique body's needs and your specific issues you are having. It enables you to really improve your straightness and symmetry along with your horses by doing different exercises for your right side compared to your left side if significant asymmetries are found in your self-assessments. It gives you the knowledge and tools to become an expert on yourself for yourself. You will learn how to reassess yourself and adjust your program as your body and goals change. You will learn what patterns are likely to lead to injuries and how to correct them before they develop into bigger problems. You will learn how to get more out of your riding time by improving your body awareness and control when off the horse so that you are not fighting your body on the horse. This leaves you free to focus on all the very many things you need to focus on when riding. Unlike one-size-fits-all exercise programs, you will learn to do the exercises correctly as to not strengthen the incorrect muscles and patterns, which is so common in so many exercise programs. You will learn which movements and exercises are best for you and which to avoid. This program has been designed by a riding instructor of over 20 years who has taught thousands of riders, trained and shown in many disciplines, and continues to train horses and compete. She is also a certified personal trainer and corrective exercise specialist, yes for people, who has developed the NASM corrective exercise model to riders. This course provides options to ask questions from your instructor and various ways to get help if you need it. Coaches, this program will help give you tons of lesson ideas to help your riders, or have your riders do this program at home to get more out of your lessons. You will both benefit greatly. Those who don't have access to a coach or personal trainer, or who want to complement their current programs with detailed at-home exercises, will find this program fills in the gaps very nicely. I will now take you briefly through the course platform so you can see how much value this program has to offer you, and you can look inside the program and see what is there before you decide to enroll. I'm going to quickly show you the layout of the course because there's a lot in here, and I know that before you purchase an online course or program, it's kind of nice to know what the layout is like. So you can see there's a lot of content, and inside each and every one of these there are many videos, text, there's a lot of hyperlinks taking you to key terms and their definitions and relevant videos. So this is the first page of the menu. Here's the second. And new content we're adding every month, often several times a month. There's places to write your comments at the bottom of every single page. And so if I see in the comments that there's something that people want to see, so you'd comment here. for example, on any of the pages, I will add what people want to see to their next video. So where I've taken us here is to the on-horse exercises. And there's a couple different ways you can use the program. So you can start with on-horse exercises at any point, because a lot of you know that you need to engage your upper back, for example, or you know that you want to be able to get your leg back, for example, when you're going to do lateral movements or lead departures or lead changes. So you might see a title and just be interested in that subject, and you can start there and try the exercises when you ride. Or you can go through the self-assessments and find out what exercises you need to do based on what your results of your assessments are. So in the beginning of the course, you go through some theory. It is a good idea before people start doing the off-the-horse exercises to do this theory for safety reasons. So there's a lot of learning how the exercise works so you can do a better job of how corrective exercise works, certain terms that you need to know. There's links to these terms throughout the program, so anytime the word muscle imbalance shows up, for example, or agonist or antagonist, asymmetry, dysfunctional movement pattern, reciprocal inhibition, anytime these words show up throughout the program, there's a link back to its definition in case somebody forgets what the word means, or maybe they didn't remember reading this section, or they didn't read this section. And it talks about some common examples of muscle imbalances in riders. And so some examples and how this might be relevant to you. In the How Corrective Exercise Works section, you learn about the 4 phases and why and how those phases are important: inhibition, lengthening, activation, and integration. And those are the steps that you use in your exercise programming after you assess yourself. In the self-assessment section, there are various off-the-horse and on-the-horse assessments. It's good to do all of them for a really thorough picture. For example, if you do the overhead squat assessment, like any of the assessments, there are videos about how to do it. There's text about it. There's a PDF that you click on and print out, and you fill this out based on what the video shows you to do. The video tells you what you're looking for. You fill this out as you watch the video, learning how to do the assessments. And you do this for all of the self-assessments. And then, once you've done all these self-assessments on and off the horse, in creating your custom exercise program, you learn how to interpret your results. So for example, if you found out that you had elevated shoulders in your assessment, then it identifies the potentially overactive muscles. When you see that are these, potentially underactive muscles are these. So you can actually click on the muscle and see, okay, here's where it is on my body for all of the muscles. And it talks a little bit in this anatomy section about how those muscles are relevant to riders. So that's really interesting. And then in the dynamic on-horse assessments, when you interpret your results for that one, you also, so let's say you were losing a stirrup, you get recommendations for the on-horse exercises. So when you click on the links for the exercises that are recommended to you, then you get taken to the exercise that is recommended for that particular issue. In the Anatomy Finder section, of course, you have all those links. So when you have a muscle that comes up as overactive or underactive in your assessment, it takes you to the muscle here. You can also just read this if you like to learn about anatomy and what these muscles do in riding, or why are they commonly overactive and underactive in the general population, and what the muscles do, why they're relevant to riding. There's tons of muscles in this section. You can just come and learn about the anatomy if that's interesting to you. Or as different muscles come up in your assessments, just go back to that whenever you're interested in learning more about them. So once you've done all your assessments, then it shows you how to use your results to build your program. And you're given a template here to help you put your exercise program together. And then you can find the exercises that you need based on your assessments in these sections. So you have an inhibition phase, lengthening, which is stretching, and the inhibition is the foam rolling. You'll learn about why that's important to do before you stretch. Activation exercises, integration, and pre-ride routines. So when you're ready to set up your exercise program, if you had overactive muscles in your calves, for example, then you'll learn that the calves are in your lower legs based on the anatomy finder, if you didn't know that. And then you'll find the exercise for the calves. There's exercises for several different muscles. You'll find those exercises, learn about them. For your steps, you have to do a lengthening exercise, so then you'd find the stretching for your calves, and this is all explained to you. But all these different body parts have lengthening or stretching exercises, so you would go in and you'd find your corresponding exercises in here, watch the videos, learn how to do the exercises, put them in your program, and so on. Then you activate the underactive muscle, so the antagonist to the overactive one, so you would find the underactive one. And again, this is all explained to you when you do your self-assessments. And then there's integration exercises to help you put this together in ways that are going to help you more in your riding and daily life when you have to focus on multiple things at once. And we also have, if this seems like too much work, and I get it, we're all busy. If this seems like too much work, kind of the best of both worlds would be for you to use sample workouts for common issues. So let's say you want to have better ankle mobility or spring, or you have trouble getting your heels down. This gives you a sample program for that. It's not as good as doing your assessment, because when you do an assessment, you can assess both your right and left legs, for example. So you might only have to do a program for calves on your right leg and not on your left. So it will save time in the long run. But if you want just a more typical program for a more generalized issue, you can do this, but I do recommend that you do the thorough self-assessment. But this one will take you to the muscles, so you're trying to learn about your calves. And it will also take you to the exercises that you need. So you'd click on how to do the exercises, explains how to do the inhibition exercises, and it takes you to each particular exercise. So it takes you to the videos that you need to do for that program. So we have a couple sample programs, so that's a bit of a shortcut, but just like anything, shortcuts aren't always the best. We also have pre-ride routines. So if you know you're going to be working on something, these are some of my go-to pre-ride routines. So this is if you have upper body things you want to work on. This is a primer to get your upper body ready for riding. And some of the other ones are good for certain things, like if you're going to be doing lateral movements or you tend to collapse to one side. So we have exercises for that. So yeah, lots of ways to use the program. There's ways that you can get a professional program, references and resources for further learning. So there's all kinds of resources available to you. And all our references, so the program is all based in scientific research. And so if you're someone who is interested in learning more about exercise science, anatomy, how that is relevant for riding, wanting to learn to assess yourself, it is a really great program. It's really thorough. It's really detailed. There's tons of exercises. There's progressions from easy to hard. Really thorough explanations. And it's all geared specifically for riders, which is really cool. And the idea that you can reassess yourself at any time so you can keep changing your program as you need to is really awesome. And it's going to help a lot of riders in a big way.